All right, welcome back. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Now, Sam, let's talk about Ben Simmons. He's been struggling a little bit lately and potentially looking to sort of re-identify who he is as a player. There have been basically perpetual rumors about him trading for a while now, but it seems like these rumors are getting a little bit stronger. So, what do you think we're about to see with him? Is he going to try to re-identify at home or elsewhere, or what are your speculations?
Okay, well, I want to say this because this is a rumor as far as with the Sacramento Kings, and you guys know how much of a fan I am for the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings, stay away from this trade. Don't ever think about Ben Simmons. Do don't trade
You did the
any
thinking for
players.
them, obviously.
Don't trade any players. Don't trade your draft picks. Don't trade anybody on the team. I don't care. Don't even give. Don't even trade anybody that is on the bench, not playing any minutes at all, for Ben Simmons.
So you
Okay.
feel not
What
super
about
strongly
what
about
about the
this.
guys that trading one of the guys, when they fall, the guys fall and you got the guys that run out there with the towels and they dry it up. What about Williams? Can they
I
trade one of those
hope they
guys?
don't. I don't even want them trading the Water Boys for Ben Simmons. Okay.
Okay,
So
so tell us why. What is your thought process here?
okay, so Ben Simmons has been
No,
in
no,
the
it's
league.
it's obvious. It's obvious. It's obvious Sam's thought process. Easy. Ben Simmons. BS. Sam says you don't trade for BS. That's just how it works. You do not trade for BS.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What
Okay,
not? So
no.
you got somebody that's basically there's talent, there's skill there, but there is
Initials.
would it be fair to say inconsistent play?
Yeah.
Would that be fair to say, Sam? Inconsistent?
Yes.
We say that would be fair. And so it's like, how much are you really willing to give up for inconsistency? Now, the trade is, we've all heard the stories. Mr. Inconsistent gets traded over here. They pick him up. All of a sudden, he's no longer Mr. Inconsistent. It happens. But the reason why that's an exciting story, it don't happen very often. So I have to agree with you on that one where it's like, if I'm a betting man, this ain't a bet I'm making. I'm just throwing it out there, and unless it's like, okay, I got 37 cents of change in my pocket, I can put that down, and we can bet that. Okay, fine. But you don't go to the ATM for this one.
Right. I mean, it sounds like in general, everybody, at least in the at this as this, the Sixers we're talking about here, would be amenable to him leaving. He himself, fans, the coaching, the question is now who's going to take him and why?
I would say this. This is the thing, and just to be on a serious note, that Ben Simmons has been in the league for a few years now. He has always been a great defender. Great defender. He has always been a great player as far as taking the basketball to the hole. Great driver to the basket. Has no shot. He has no shot at all, and he has not, and to my knowledge and reports, he has not worked on his shot. He got him. He got to the NBA. Congrats. You got to the NBA. You did what most players would not be able to make it. You made it. Great job. But even when you make it to the NBA, you still have to perfect your craft. Kind of like I would say Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather perfected his craft, and continued to perfect his craft. And he retired undefeated. But if you're going to um, be in the NBA, you're going to have to work on your shot. You can't just say, okay, well, I can drive to the hole and I can play good defense. and that's where it stops. No, you're gonna have to work on your
You
work on your shot.
can if you're into earrings and odd colored hair. I'm just throwing that out there. If
No,
your defense is legendary status like that, you can get away with it. I don't think it's legendary status. That's my take.
he's a great defender. He's a great defender. It's just that
I didn't say great. I said legendary.
well, I mean, it's hard to be legendary as far as defensive player like Kawhi and his teammate Patrick Beverly. It's hard to be legendary defensive players, but he's a great defensive player. He's a great driving to the basket, as I said, but he just has no shot. And it's not something that he worked on each summer at all. So it's just like you're gonna have to work that. So I mean, who's gonna trade for him? I don't really know. I mean, I heard the Warriors are going to trade for him, but I mean, the only thing I can think of if the Warriors do that, they Steve Kerr is going to actually teach him how to shoot, or
Well,
maybe.
the interesting thing is when you look at some of the trade deals that are kind of floating around there, it's never we're going to trade him for some other big person. It's we want him to work with somebody else. So it could be that someone is looking for that guy to get them to the inside so that they can have the person who's good at shooting do the shooting.
Well, I mean that too, but I mean if he does go to the
Well, that was
Warriors, I say his I would say that his jump shot might improve. Might improve. He got the you
based
know
on like peer pressure. Like everybody else can hit the basket from anywhere on the court. You can't do it from 3, 4.5 feet away. So you better pick up your game, son. Is that what you're
Lonzo
saying?
Ball is a better shooter than him, and he has
Well,
the most awkward shooting motion.
the
Hey,
other
what
thing
works
too,
works. If it
the
works, it works.
the mental aspect of the game is important too, right? How long has he been unhappy in Philadelphia? That could be playing a role as well. So even though I know it's probably not the
Fans can
probability
say
that
that
he'll do
too.
well somewhere else, it could happen where he has a whole mind shift, you know?
Well,
There's a
fans can
reason
Man,
say
yeah,
why
that
people
too.
don't
that could
grow over
happen.
time.
Some folks go different places and they find themselves rejuvenated, and they get another chance, another opportunity, a breath of fresh air, whatever it is. Different scenario, they can kind of wipe some things off and they can move forward. So we can't rule that out.
I mean,
But
not that he's going
again,
to become a whole new player, right? But he could definitely up his game even minor just by having a shift in mindset.
I say this: if
true.
Ben
And
Simmons is
you
tired,
never know what it takes to make that next step.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told you before, I've coached kids that literally you work with them all season. They frustrate you. You're just not getting what you need out of them. Then you're in the playoffs and you tell them one silly little thing where it's just like, if you just, all you got to do is this. If you just did this one thing, and then they go out there and they do it and they're like, they figured it out. And you're like, so all that time, I just needed to say that. You needed those 4 specific words. That's all right. I'm a terrible coach that just got lucky at the end of the season. Maybe
well,
he finds that, he just finds it's like, hey man, did you know that you should look cross-eyed when you do it? And then he's like, boom, and it's like, oh, what happened? He's got a shot now. Well, nobody told him.
well, I'll say this: if Ben Simmons is tired of being in Philadelphia, the fans feel the same way. They're tired of him being in Philadelphia too. So.
They over there like, hey man, you ain't even got to pay to relocate. We got you. Oh.
Go fund me to get him out. All right.
Hey,
All
that's one of those. They put up a GoFundMe seeking $120,000. They reach their target in 47 seconds.
So
right, so let's transition a little bit. We'll take a quick break, come
With the
back.
major contributor being BS Man.
Yeah, we're gonna leave BS man aside. and come back and go back to some of our interesting social issues we're seeing lately. There's a little bit of a teaser, but I'll introduce it in a few seconds here.